And we welcome you to Dodgers Daily for Friday, September 9th. I'm so glad that you've decided to tune in. I'm Casey Porter of Dodger Poke Report. Oklahoma City, they won on a walk-off walk. Great Lakes and Tulsa, well, they came up just short despite both having big home runs. And then Rancho, they came back to earth. So there was a lot of great action last night. Let's not waste any more time. Let's get right to it, and let's take a trip down on the farm. OKC scored their first run on a squeeze play by Drew Avens that you're seeing here, then scored their last run on a walk-off walk from Ryan Noda and got a much-needed win 5-4 Thursday night at the Bricktown Ballpark against the Tacoma Rainiers, the AAA affiliates of the Mariners, in front of 4,048 fans. Left-handed hitting catcher out of Lake Charles, Louisiana, Hunter Fiducia had 3 hits in the big OKC 5-4 win. Fiducia has hits in 3 games in a row and is hitting .357 with an OPS of .829 so far this month. Keep up the great work, Hunter. Left-hander Victor Gonzalez ran into trouble for the first time in a while and gave up a run for just the second time since he's been with OKC in his 7 rehab outings. His two-seam sinker was 92-93, his slider was 82-84, and he threw 1 changeup at 82. Nick Robertson has been with AAA Oklahoma City for exactly 2 days, and he's thrown in both of those games that he has been with the AAA affiliates, and for the second outing in a row, he did not give up a run last night. He was 92 on his 4-seam, 84-86 on his changeup, 84 on his slider, and he threw 1 cutter at 86. So there you have it. Nick Robertson, the big right-handed reliever out of James Madison. Justin Hageman, the right-hander out of Penn State, came up clutch for Oklahoma City. He stranded an inherited runner and kept the game tied, which OKC eventually won. Hageman threw mainly sinkers at 93-94. He threw 6 sliders that were 82-83, and his ERA in August was just 1.86, and he has yet to give up a run this month in September. Mark Washington, the big right-hander out of Lehigh, got the call in the top of the 10th, and he stranded the ghost runner. Then Oklahoma City scored in the bottom half, and he got the win. Washington was 95-96 on his 4-seam. He was 86-87 on his cutter. His ERA on the year is just 2.82, and he has not allowed a run in his last 4 outings. The Drillers took a 2-0 lead on the home run that you're seeing here from Leonel Valera in the 3rd inning, but only scored 1 more time the rest of the night and lost 4-3 to Frisco, the AA affiliates of the Rangers. This was home run number 16 on the year for Leonel Valera. It traveled 402. Very happy feat. Valera is 8 for his last 22, which is a .366 average so far this month, with 2 home runs, a triple, 9 runs scored, and 16 total bases. Tanner Dodson, the right-handed pitcher that the Dodgers got in the trade for Luke Raley, turned in his 7th performance in a row and has given up just 1 run since the beginning of August. He has the big fastball he has touched as high as 98, the big breaking stuff. His deal is just keeping it in the zone, something of which he did last night. Left-hander out of Missouri, Jacob Cantleberry, turned in his 3rd scoreless outing in a row and 8th of his last 10. Here's a look at one of the reasons why he is so effective. Watch as he goes into his stretch and into his windup and gets ready to throw the ball. Look how long he hides the baseball, and then it comes out, and his slider is very good. So look how he hides the ball here. It's hidden. Still, the hitter can't see it, and he can't see it. The hitter cannot until he basically releases it. It comes out like a slingshot, and then when he throws that slider like he does, it makes it very, very difficult. As you can see, this hitter really is way far off from hitting this baseball in this video. So there, I wanted to show why Jacob Cantleberry, in my opinion, at least one of the reasons why he is so successful as a left-handed pitcher. Andy Pages hit his 24th double of 2022, and it pulled the Drillers within 1 at the time in the 8th inning at 4-3. Pages led the minor leagues in the Dodgers system last year with 31 home runs, so he has a world of power. Luis Diaz hit a grand slam in the 6th inning that you're seeing here to give the Loons a 5-4 lead, but the Whitecaps responded in the bottom half of that frame with 3 runs of their own and beat the Loons in a squeaker 7-6. This was home run for Luis Diaz, number 17 on the year. Eddie's Leonard had 2 triples on Wednesday night and hit his team-leading 31st double last night for the Great Lakes Loons. Leonard has hits in 4 games in a row, 8 of his last 9, and his OPS this month is .999, and pair that with a .273 average. So far in September, the young infielder Eddie Leonard is having a good offensive month. Rancho scored 3 in the 5th and 1 in the bottom of the 9th, and that was all the scoring the Quakes did as they dropped a 12-4 decision to the Lake Elsinore Storm, the single-A affiliates of the Padres, at Lone Mart Field in front of 1,398 fans. You're seeing Rain Don Cone. He had 2 hits and 3 RBIs last night for the Quakes, including his 3rd home run since joining Rancho. Don Cone is hitting .364 so far in September with an OPS of 1,000, and he has hits in 7 of his last 8 games, and in those 8 games, he has 3 home runs, 8 RBIs, 6 runs scored, and 19 total bases. Luis Rodriguez hit home run number 11 last night for Rancho. Rodriguez is a 19-year-old out of Venezuela that has hits in 9 of his last 11 games and is 16 for 46. That's .347 during that period with a home run, 5 doubles, 7 runs scored, and 24 total bases. Chris Campos was the opener for the Quakes and threw a scoreless inning to start the game. Campos is a 22-year-old that was drafted in the 7th round out of St. Mary's, and his average against so far is 192, and his whip is 0.82 since joining the club, so Campos has thrown very well. Joel Ibarra threw 2 scoreless innings for Rancho. Ibarra is a 20-year-old out of Hermosillo, Sonora, Mexico, with an ERA this month in his 2 outings of just 2.70, and he hasn't given up a hit in his last 3 outings, which spans 5.1 innings. His whip in September is just 0.90, so Ibarra is throwing very well. Livan Reynoso is a 24-year-old out of Tennessee Wesleyan that threw a scoreless 9th inning last night for Rancho. Reynoso joined the club in mid-August and has an ERA of just 1.42 so far and a whip of just 0.47. I'm glad that you chose to watch Dodgers Daily for Friday, September 9th, and I hope that you tune in tomorrow. I also hope that you visit DodgerPokeReport.com or visit Dodger Poke on all the social media platforms, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or TikTok. I also hope that you go to your podcast streaming service of your choice and you become a subscriber to our Dodgers Daily podcast. Hey, if you like this video, go ahead and click that like button, leave a comment, tell all of your friends, share this video, let everybody that you know about it so we can keep providing you content like this in the future. As always, thanks for tuning in, and go Dodgers.